Hello guys, welcome to my second video of the iRacing Tales. This video will cover the race I had recently in the Gathering of Tweakers Team Endurance Challenge. It was a quite extraordinary race as we had two cars in one class. We had the McLaren and the Ford GT, and I was driving the Ford GT, a car I have recently fallen in love with. I really like how it's driving on the track. So just a quick qualifying view. We have 41 cars all starting on the Road Atlanta with 1 hour and 20 minutes of racing to come. I started in position number 16. There was nothing done to the McLarens as the organizers wanted that they should naturally be a bit quicker than the Ford, so nothing was done. And from the get-go, I also saw that the McLarens was faster in the straight lines, while the Ford was quicker in the corners. So anyway, I'm starting here, and I think I'm holding on to my position for this first lap because I did not want to get in any troubles from the beginning. Just had a car spinning there, put me up into 15th position. I am going to skip some parts of this race here in the beginning and something in the middle part where it's basically just me going lap after lap trying to get into the draft of the car in front of me, and it takes quite a while. We had a Mohammed Patel just in front of me blowing his engine up. Very unfortunate for him, but good for me. He's normally quite fast in the Ford, so I didn't mind that he got taken out. But from his own perspective, it's just so annoying to not even complete one lap. The incident ahead of me caused me to lose out on the car in front. It was Richard Soboleski, one of the contenders for the class win in Proto GT this season. Behind me I have Martin Hilligers, who is very good driver. Actually, he won the award for having least incidents in this race, and he actually finished with 0 incidents, and that's very good by him because later on in this race I have a great race with him actually. Behind Hilligers is Joe Williamson and Dennis Retz and Joe Jr. and so on. In front of me, apart from Soboleski, I have Rudy de Witt. I ran a close race with him a couple of weeks ago in the Morgan Schooley race. I finished in front of him at that point, and I knew that at some parts of the stint I would be quicker than Rudy, so I really just floored the throttle in this opening parts because I really wanted to get up to these two guys and get that draft. But right now I think the gap is about 2.5 seconds, and I'm more worried about Martin Hilliger's and McLaren's behind me, because they are easily quicker than me on this back straight here. So every time I create a gap in all the corners, in the S's and all the rest of the corners, they just close the gap again on the back straight. You could say it's an annoying part of the race, but yeah, that was the premise of this race, to finish as good as you could. And actually, what made this race quite interesting was that you teamed up with another driver in the opposite car of your own. So me being in the 4GT, I had to team up with McLaren, and the teams were set by the organizers. So I actually joined up with Danny Bowes, running here in this McLaren. And yeah, we had a small chat going on during the race. We added a radio channel called at 14, because we were called Team 14 for this race. So we had a small talk about race fuel, pit strategy, and how the traffic was during the race, and it was quite an interesting aspect. Let's just see, currently he's down into position 18, I think, while I am in position 11 at this stage of the race. So let's go on board of Hilligers and look at the battle we have here. Once again, I'm really glad to be racing Road Atlanta. I really enjoy this wonderful circuit. And here you see how the McLaren is easily quicker than the Ford, so I had to actually go a bit defensive. Overall, on a whole lap, I was just a bit quicker than Martin here. But yeah, he could get that draft from me over and over again, so I never really got away from him. Anyway, if you like this race broadcast, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you can also follow me on Twitter, and that is @EgilSandfeld. And if you have any comments or questions about this race, just post them in the comments below here. At this point, I'm starting to figure out that it might be better if Martin is actually ahead of me, because if he just gets an okay gap to me, I will be able to close the gap in all the corners, and at the same time I will be able to get some draft on the back straight, which is what I lack. And also my pit strategy was to fill to start with a full tank, and the full tank has been limited for this race to 55.8 liters. So that was what I started with, and then do a full stint, go into the pits, take 4 tires and a whole fuel tank again, and then go that full stint, go in, take no tires, and then 27.4 liters. And I have been calculating a bit, doing some testing with fuel usage without an in draft, and I think I use about 95% fuel when I'm in draft, so I'm actually saving a bit. In this race with the Ford GT on Road Atlanta with these current weather settings, that could save me about 7 liters throughout this whole race. So that's about 2 to 3 laps actually saving. But as you can see from these first 8 laps, I actually haven't been driving in any kind of draft, so I've been using full fuel. But anyway, I think that added together, the fuel amount I fill during the race is about 138 liters. But without this draft, I would need 141. So it's quite tight in the end, and that's also one of the exciting things about this, especially this race, because as the race progressed and I found myself without too much of a draft, I would start to feel the fuel as an issue. You see now that I'm starting to close in on the gap to, I think it's Rudy DeWitt, yeah, and Richard has gone by Rudy. So the gap is about 1.2 seconds now after 9 laps. I'm still in position number 11, a bit disappointing because with 10 cars ahead you would normally think that on 10 laps that more people would crash or do something else. And, I guess I realized that the strength of this race field was quite good. Anyway, let's just skip a bit. Just fast forward it a bit. You see him closing in on Rudy and the S's, and he has a bit of struggle with a McLaren in front. I think actually a lapped car, which doesn't allow Rudy by. So I think I'm catching up quite well here. Give me the gap, give me the gap. I'm just forcing my way through here. Let's go back to the roof cam and fast forward it a bit more. This time in the race, I was just starting to really get into the stint, feeling the groove, and just doing those consistent laps, about 121.8 to 122 flat, which was quite alright for me. Yeah, now I'm actually in the draft here, so let's just focus on this battle for a while. Just showing myself here in his mirrors. Yeah, and actually I think that helped a bit because he had to lock his brakes a bit there. That's always good. My biggest issue in this race was that corner we just came out of, the corner leading onto the back straight, and the Corvette as well. I always have some issues coming correctly out of that corner. It's like I don't really feel the grip level until very late there, but it has definitely helped me driving into fourth. Because I noticed that the Corvette I braked a bit too early, so I had to take a wider line on the exit. I'm really right behind Rudy now. I'm looking forward to when the time comes that you have to actually break out of the draft to cool the engine off. That will be a very sweet time. See now Rudy is coming up to some traffic ahead. And again, I'm a bit too much on the curb there, actually braked a bit too soon. Ford GT coming onto the track here again. He does a very good job of yielding as he waited for us to get by before he actually joined the track. Very fine job. Get so much speed coming out of that corner, but unfortunately he's on the good side, the correct side of the corner, so he takes it. this point I'm just thinking, come on, draft, draft, draft. Give me that draft. Let's see behind us. Clear road, so there's no one actually following us. I managed to break away from Martin Hilliger's draft. Maybe it was also because he wanted to go for the safety award. I don't know. We are on lap number 19. And it won't be long before I have to go into the pits for the first time, I think. A stint here lasted about 33 minutes. Let's just skip a bit again. But it's nice at this point of the race because I can draft and save some fuel, especially on the back straight where you don't use all the fuel to get up to maximum speed because the car in front breaks the air away from your car. That was a better exit than usual. Closing in on him again. But it's just not enough. And I have a syndrome that when I get close to drivers who are almost as quick as me, I start to drive their lines, which is not intended, and it's not all good at all, because once I do that, I won't go any faster than them. So one of my notes to take with me from this race is that I should not do their lines, I should do my own lines, and maybe not focus directly on the car ahead of me, but on the car in front of the car ahead of me, or just try to make the car invisible in some way. This is bad because Rudy has a draft from that McLaren in front, so on this lap I'm not really closing in on him. Good drive out of the corner, but yeah, I knew that I had to go into the pits here, coming down to 72 kilometers per hour, and I was a bit worried where my pit box would be, but I found it in the end. Stopping at 86. And filling 55.8 liters, sorry. Car in front of me is Martin Hilliger's, and we are on lap 23. And off we go again. It was a quite uneventful pit, as it should be. I'm coming out into some traffic, but not too bad, as we were 41 cars on the track. So yeah, actually it was quite good because I have a McLaren and a Ford GT ahead of me, so I could again save some fuel. But unfortunately, the McLaren in front of me is very slow compared to me in the corners, and would still break away from me on the back straight. So yeah, as you will now see, he's starting to be a bit annoying, especially coming out of that corner. He was very slow, and it was frustrating. He wasn't a bad driver at all. He was just not that quick, and it just didn't really suit me at that point. Trying to go on the right side of the car. It's really bad when you get frustrated after only one lap. Just fast forward it again. See how it goes in these next laps. You see here, oh, just a McLaren going off. Yeah, actually now he's breaking a bit away from me. I catch up a bit in that last corner leading onto the back straight, then he disappears, and I close in on him again. And that could just continue lap after lap. But the good thing was that I actually saved some fuel during this stint, which might have helped me going from or saving those 3 liters that I actually needed in order to complete the race on my fuel strategy. Closing in, and again I had a very bad exit because he was a bit slow coming out of that corner. Thank you for that, Ford GT. I said to myself at this point, just, give me that spot. I'm faster than you. So anyways, as I'm recording this, I'm actually waiting for the iRacing company to update their simulation to the newest iteration. And it's currently 4 or 5 hours away from being ready, I think. I'm very much looking forward to it. Mostly because of the weather addition and the improvements in the tire model, of course. Big crash up ahead. There was a McLaren spinning in the braking zone. He might have just been locking his rears. on lap 31 now. And last I had the pit stop at 23, so we are looking for a pit stop again at 46-ish. Oh yeah, this is fun. One of my Danish teammates up ahead in the green and white car, Kellogg's car, and he is a lap or two down at this point, unfortunately. So I said to him on T-Speed to give me some room. So he did, and I'm actually ahead of that McLaren guy at this moment. But as he being quicker on the back straight in straight lines, I really just gave him the spot back, also because I needed fuel. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, and I retook position because just to let him know that, yeah, I am actually quicker than you, but if you start to get the lap times down, I might let you go in front of me. So I can feel the triumph here in position number 8 for about a lap or two until we come on to the back straight again. But maybe I will be lucky, I can't remember, because there is a draft opportunity just ahead of me. Draft! Power! Let's see, behind. Yeah, he's closing in again. I'm passing that similar paint scheme for GT, and I really hope that he would shut the door in front of that McLaren guy, so I could get a good gap to him. But that didn't happen. So, lap 34, still in position number 8, which is quite good as, yeah, I think there weren't too many for GTs ahead of me. Let's just check that out. If we can. Robert Turkula was about 4 seconds ahead of me at this stage. And he was not on the lead lap. Patel was not. Bakun was not, Stefan was not. Yeah, actually, no, can't be. Maxim. Actually, I was at this stage the second quickest for GT. The rest of the cars are ahead of me in the other 7 positions were all McLarens. And I thought to myself, hey, I can see you, Robert Turkula ahead of me, 3 to 4 seconds, and yeah, how cool would it be to catch up with that guy, one of the quickest guys in the Ford GT. So, and at this point I was closing in the gap because he had some traffic ahead of yeah, Wim Stockmans. You can see there how quick Turkula is through corners. He really takes it straight to the limit. and oh yeah, that was what happened. Unfortunately, I spin here, and I can show you why. The guy I was battling with for some time got the draft on me, and yeah, I thought that he would be a bit quicker through that corner. So yeah, I was a bit shocked, so I actually spun the car here, and it put me down into, can't remember what we all see, 10th position so far, 12th, yeah, from 8th position down to 12th position. So I lost 4 positions, but it was to Joe Williamson, Martin Hilgers, Rudy de Witt and Dirk Toylins. So it was actually only 1 spot lost in my own quotations class. I was a bit pissed at this point. I've been struggling so many laps to get by that guy, and then he gets the draft, goes straight by me, and then I can't even hold my car on the tarmac. But fortunately, the field was quite spread out, so I didn't lose too many positions. Really taking it easy through that corner. Oh, and this guy was Patel. I thought it was somebody else. Here comes the traffic just behind me. It's going to be great to watch, actually. So I get by the lapped traffic here. And after this spin, actually my teammate is right behind me in position number 13 in the white and red striped car. Oh, there's so much traffic here. But yeah, the cars behind Danny is the leaders of the race, 1, 2, and 3. Actually, I didn't notice them until they actually were side by side of me, because I was so busy managing my own traffic, the one I'm coming up to right now. Whoops. It's really car by car by car. It's really close. We have 8 cars within 3 seconds on the track right now, and a lap traffic car which braked in the middle of the corner, which he should not do and never do. So I get the draft here from another radical driver. I think it's Joe Jr., who is a lap down. And once again, Martin, my Danish teammate, is in front of me. So I tell him to let me go, and I think he just wanted to have a bit of fun. But yeah, here we go, and the cars just behind me was actually the lead of the race. And it was just now I noticed that there was this car on my right, and right here I really just hoped that there weren't going to be another McLaren to my right, because I had to turn in and I couldn't see anything, and the spotter did not have any time to tell me if there was a car or not. So I let this guy by as well, hoping to get some draft. But these guys were really quick. In case you wonder who it was Rocco Barone, Enzo Bonito, and Patrick Valento Ferro. And I think they had a pretty good fight as well. So, order is kind of restored. Danny, my teammate, is right behind me. And, I'm still looking strong after my spin. The tires have come down to the right temperature again. With the many cars on the track, there was a lot of different pit strategies as well. So from this point of the race until the end, I really had to take care at the pit exit that the cars were not on my right side. I usually compromise the first corner a bit to get a better entry to the second and third corner on this track. And that means that I have to go almost all the way to the right, and that's just where the pit exit is. And if there's a car there, I am going to crash into it. Actually I started to look to the right each time I went up through turn 1 and 2. Whoop. Just had a bit of fun there. So Danny and I talked about that we should maybe swap places here, because he would be faster on the straight, so I could get some drive from him in case I didn't have any draft. Gets a terrible exit of that corner. And, oh yeah, Joe Williamson is in this green car right here. And he is in the position just ahead of me, with some nice logos of Neo Endurance. Thank you very much, Joe. So I caught up to him, sorry. And right on his bumper. Let's just view it from here. It's funny to feel in the force feedback and to see on the car that once you're right behind another car, that there isn't a lot of downforce. So in some corners where you really need the downforce, like in the very last corner, and when you are right behind a car, you just slide out, very much out. You really have to be aware of that. So here Danny gets by me because I don't stand a chance on the back straight to catch up with Joe here. But in case Danny gets the draft and goes by him, he could maybe just slow Joe a bit down, not by blocking or anything, but just by having an ordinary good old-fashioned race, and that could maybe allow me to catch up with them. So here I yell to Danny that he should just come on, go, woo. It was really intense here because I was eager to gain some positions after my spin. And currently, after 42 laps, I'm in position 12. I started in position 16, so that's basically just 4 positions up. Not that great. Sorry about that. So, oh yeah, this is actually where I lost connection because all other cars are gone on the track, and I noticed that my lights just flashed, and I think that my router restarted here. I don't know what happened, but right before the connection lost, I was behind both Danny and Joe. But right now I'm actually ahead of them, which is very, very strange. But that's maybe just the netcode figuring out that I should be on a place where on a place on the track where there aren't any other cars, so it was safest to put me back in front of them. So with that issue, I had no other options than to let them both go, because it wouldn't be fair. And here it went away again, but restored itself right after. It was very intense because Martin, my Danish teammate, just had a connection loss as well. That would be his very first time. So I said to Danny that there might be some connection issues with the Dutch server, and one of Martin's crew chiefs said to me that there were other drivers losing connection as well. Anyway, Danny is now up to 10th, and I am still on position number 12, and there was a big crash behind me of, I think it was Wim Stockmans, maybe. Unfortunate for him. So let's just skip a bit now that we come to the... Oh yeah, actually I'm going into the pits here to take my last amounts of fuel, which was 27 liters. And yeah, the exit here was a bit more intense as I got out into traffic, but I managed to stay right in front of Martin Hilligers, which was one of the drivers battling with me in the beginning of the race, and I got away from him then, so I figured that I should really just try to stay ahead of him. he's just too close. I can't do anything about that. So I let him by and hope to gain some draft from him to save some more fuel until the end. Who's that car behind me? Oh yeah, that's Andre Martins, another very good driver. I am into 47 laps and on position number 14. At this stage, I think we have about 15 minutes left or so. And Martins is really gaining time on me here. I think he has a more flat wing setting because he could really close in on me here on the back straight. I gave him some room there because I wasn't all sure of where he was. Yeah, let's just fast forward once again to find some action here. When I make these videos, I don't want you to sit and wait for the action too much, so I will be doing this to save both me and you some time and to really just get to see what it's all about. So I close in on Martin, but yeah, pulling away from me as usual on the back straight here. Lap 52. So now he has some traffic up ahead, but he can maybe deal with that on the back straight. Yeah, 58 laps is what we did in total. Thank you very much. I get a good exit from that corner, usually. I'm trying to force my way through because this was actually for position 10. And Martin has some issues with some off-track. The guy behind me is not currently in my draft, so I turn my attention fully to the battle ahead of me. really, really close here. Some of the last races I've done, I've been crashing out towards the end. So that was stuck on my mind actually while we battled it out really hard here, that I would rather give up a position than trying to gain another. So at this point, with Martin being faster on the back straight, I was just waiting for him to make a mistake. But yeah, with 0 incidents in the entire race, that would seem a bit difficult to get. Drafting style. I go sideways there in order to get on the right side of Stefan Overgaard, the blue car I overtook. And though it might not seem like it, I'm actually trying to yield, but at the same time push Martin just a bit to make him make a mistake. Just to see if he can, if he made a small mistake of sliding the car or not coming into the apex of some of the corners or something. But yeah, he was really, really steady throughout the entire race. So kudos to him. Let's see it from his point of view. You can see it in the body language of the Ford GT, but it's a bit better, a bit more stable in the corners than the McLaren actually. Maybe it's because it has a bit more downforce. I actually don't know. Since it's an old GT2 spec, the McLaren is a current GT3. So this is lap 57, and I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to cross the line with less than a half a liter in the tank on this last lap. So this is actually my last attempt to gain position number 9 from him. Trying to put my nose in some places where he wouldn't suspect me to do that. And at this stage I just call it a day, settle in with the 10th position, and it was not until actually now that I was really worried of not being able to cross the line. simply because I was afraid of not having enough fuel in the tank. But yeah, I crossed the line in 10th position, and I have about 0.1 liter left in the tank. So it was very interesting, and it was down to the wire. But yeah, race is over. Finished 10th position, and my teammate of Danny Bowers finished in 11th position. And actually, I have some point score here, and Team 11 with Dirk Toylins and Rudy de Witt actually finished with 74 points overall. And in second place we have me and Danny Bowers, and I'm very pleased with that, being able to win over some of all the other very fast guys here. They're really quick, many of these guys. So I'm very pleased with that, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this race. And yeah, this is Danny pushing me into the pits because I am out of fuel at this stage. Looking good. So thanks very much for watching. If you like this, just subscribe to my channel, and more will come. See you next time.